advertise someone else's listing, like a Remax or something like that, then you cannot, you absolutely cannot do it without their permission. So I'm going to shrink this. Now, again, here's a cool, now the tax district, earlier, back it up, I was saying, hey, go ahead and call the appraisal district. And you're like, I don't know who to call. Well, Montgomery County, if that's the county you want to look in, Montgomery County CAD, or Google Montgomery County Tax Office. This is the website right there. And this is what it looks like. So I can property search, and I can do a search for a property and find the taxes on it. Or I can call Montgomery County and ask about their exemptions. Okay. So sorry about these ads in my Yahoo. I don't have any control over that. So I'll try to keep it like that. This is just I use Yahoo as my email. Now here's a good one that for okay. So when you first get your thing, you get these, and then you can go through that, and that kind of gives you a fast track, like this, all on board. Now go through these. And then I follow up with the second one. And I'll show you in a minute. Well, I'll show you right now. Then I follow up with like a second email to y'all, and I give you the I give you the TUR training folder assignments, and then I give you the training webinars, which is all in the TUR training folder. So the assignments are good to go through, and I'm going to go through that. And then the webinars, this is just me to you guys. TUR, Texas United, and Fernando has set up all these webinars that you can get training on. And that's right there. And I send it to you. So please click through that. Here's your TUR training folder right here. We're going to go over that. Now, here's your fast track here at the bottom. Fernando has put this together as a great way to get started on marketing. Craigslist, which I believe now is the new Facebook marketplace, but there's other marketplace apps. Okay. How to boost your Facebook. So go through this, guys, because this is some good stuff. This is kind of it says post Facebook once a week. I already told y'all that I do that. Tips for generating leads. All this I'm going to email over to y'all. Okay. That's the folder that I keep it in, so I can email it to y'all. Now, one of the things that I'm focusing on is there's also a Zoom I'm going to go over called Remind. It's a way to search HAR for properties in the neighborhood that you want to search. That they even have like a way of, I don't know how they do it, but like a way of kind of finding out if it's possibly going to be maybe on the market soon, meaning maybe they want to sell soon. So maybe they've owned it for a while, they got equity, and I'm trying it out myself. That's going to be another Zoom video. But what I'm trying to do in my neighborhood, since that's my farm area, a farm area means an area you're going to market in over and over and over. You don't necessarily get a response the first time, but if you keep farming it or keep marketing it, you're going to get a response. Typically, the statistics show after the third time that you've hit them with the marketing material, either on their door to save on postage or obviously through the mail. So in my Easter party for the neighborhood, I'm going to have them sign up, but I'm going to ask for their phone number and their email. So an email could be another way I can follow up with them. But this is what I'm wanting to do. And I got this through Print Force One, the guy at Print Force One. So that's an example. Okay. Again, you're not going to necessarily get a response the first time. Don't be discouraged. Farming is just that. It's cultivating. It takes a process. So I'm already sent my first mail outs out. My second wave is going to be the calendar. My third wave is going to be the invitation for my Easter party, neighborhood party. And then I'm going to have to come up with a fourth way. Probably to save money, I'm going to do door knockers and go house to house. Now, one of the other things I wanted to just make sure y'all, please write this down. One of the mistakes I made when first starting, which I wish I could have a time machine and go back. I wish that I made a Excel spreadsheet, some sort of Outlook, saved all my clients that I sold a house to. I can understand all the clients that you touch base with, that would still be a good idea, but at least all the ones you've sold a house to. We just had a meeting where 90% of the people do not reuse their realtor, 90%. And the reason why, they forgot their names. So if you don't, Texas United is coming out with a program. It's $50 and it puts them up on an automatic email and mail. I think it's 42 touches over 5 years and it's $50. I'm going to do that because I can't tell you how much business I probably have lost by not staying in touch as often as I should. I have, but not as often as I should. I try to send this calendar out at least once a year, but once a year is not good enough. I mean, if that's the minimum you do, I mean, it's better than nothing because you're going to lose them if you don't follow up with them. So there's also some tips for generating leads that I'm going to email over to you. Again, it talks about, we're going to revisit this. It talks about 5 touches a day. So a touch could be handing out your business card at Walmart. It could be Facebook posting. It could be Facebook messaging someone that you think might be, maybe they got the itch. Maybe you saw on Facebook that they were looking at houses, you know, from like the outside. If they already have a real estate agent, I'm sorry, but it's too late. Here's some good information. Print Force One. I already showed you their website. HAR's phone number. Showing service. It's kind of outdated. There's a new service that we use now. Again, I can go over that in another email. I got a lot of Zoom I need to go over with y'all, don't I? Okay, so this talks about, this is kind of for me, but this is kind of things that I could go over with y'all. Again, I've kind of already touched base. Goal setting is another good one. I always try to set a goal. So I actually write the goal on my calendar. And then this is a great thing to have, by the way, because your phone can only do so much, in my opinion, when it's calendar, because it gets so cluttered in your phone. This is a great way to put down your schedule, and that way you don't miss anything, including our training that we give, and including any seminars, training, and especially when your clients showing a house. If I didn't have this calendar, I also write my goals on here, and then I check mark them when I meet them. My goal is to try to sell 1 house a week. That's a hefty goal. And when I first started, it was 1 house a month, just to give you an idea. And I had a checkbox in that month, and I had to check it off, or I did not stop. I didn't stop filling my pipeline. If you don't fill that pipeline, you're not going to accomplish your goals. Here's 8 steps. We went over kind of like, I'm going to go over a dot loop video. We're going to go over the training TUR folder. We went over business cards, OpCity, Fast Track 90-day challenge. We went over that PDF. I'm going to email that to y'all. This kind of scripts, I'd like to go over y'all and more on person. So that's why I like to do my face-to-face meetings. Here's a checklist. Again, I'm going to email it to y'all. And this kind of some examples of business cards from Fernando. here's a good example, business goal. When I first started 18 years ago, my goal was to make $30,000 a year. I had that goal. I did make a goal. Absolutely, I did. And that was 18 years ago. I think $50,000. I think Fernando's example is good, is great. And then he kind of gives how to set those goals. Open houses is something else we can cover in another webinar. I'm trying not to make this webinar too long. So now I'm going to send y'all that. Questions, of course, you can always email me or call me. Now, let me go over the TER training folder really quick. This is all this stuff is also in your TER training folder. Mentor program would be a good one for y'all to look at. Goal setting would be another good one to look at. Open house would be another good one. These are the training webinars. So you want to open up that and look to see what webinars you can go over. My goal for y'all is to watch one webinar a week from this training folder, from this webinar folder, right here. Now, I did want to go over contracts. We're going to go over that another time, but here is examples of contracts, all of this and their addendums. So submitting an initial offer on behalf of your buyer would be a good one to go over. Where is the main contract? Sorry. Oh, wait a minute. Let me back it up. Oh, buyer rep contract. So sorry, it was the one below that. That is references, which is great to go over. But what I was looking for, here's your contract and addendums. The cool thing that Fernando did, contract offer. And this is the 1 to 4 family residential contract that we use. He literally is giving you a cheat sheet in blue. The contract, when we go over dot loops, is not going to have this blue stuff written in there. That's Fernando's cheat sheet. I want you to read this contract, literally back to cover. I want you to take, it's 11 pages long. It's going to take you 20 minutes. Do yourself a favor. My mentor, when I first got into the business, he made me sit down and read it right there in front of him. So he made sure I did it. Now, if you're reading this and the blue is not going to be in the contract, but the blue is going to help you make sense of it. But if you don't read it front to back, how are you going to understand the contract when you're trying to fill in the blanks when you do have an offer that you need to write up? Okay. It's 11 pages long, and the 11 pages isn't even anything you need to read. So 10 pages, 9 pages of reading. Sorry, 8 pages, because that's, you get my picture. And then these are the addendums. Well, Ryan, what addendums do I need to have in my contract? Well, dot loop's going to have all these addendums in them. When you open up the file, we'll go over that. But here's your checklist. You have to submit this checklist with your file when you hand it over to me. You have to. I still do. Well, of course I do. When I'm turning over my real estate files, I have to hand it over to TUR, Texas United Realty. So basically, I hand it over to Fernando. You hand it over to me. And then I turn it over to Fernando. Now, listing a buyer, this is the contracts you need. Listing the seller, these are the ones you need. You get the point. How do I get paid, Ryan? Well, we fill these out, and this has to go in our file. So TER training folder, back to TER training folder. Here's a dot loop training video. I'm going to do one for y'all, but to get you, if you want to, well, Ryan, I want to learn about dot loop right now. Well, I watched these videos. I did. I watched all 3 of these.